Cage Minds Uncensored. We're back with Andrew Tenneson. How you doing, sir?
Hungry but good.
Hungry but good.
Yeah, hungry but good.
The struggle. That is your consummate struggle, right?
Oh yeah. Food is a big thing for me. I love food. I like hanging out with people and eating food. So it's just a big social thing. It's a body thing. My body's like, feed me more. But gotta cut weight because of a lame prisoner's dilemma. But whatever. Is
it that much of a drastic diet change from when you're not in fight count mode?
Yes, totally. We're talking no gluten, basically. And I love bread. I love wheat. Love waffles, toast. Yeah, amazing.
Okay, so you're dying for a waffle. I know you, that is the tops.
But it normally is. But I'll tell you right now, folks, pizza is number one right now. Pizza. And the shop's pancakes, if you haven't been to the shop. It's right near UNM, near the Taco Bell. Amazing pancakes. Best pancakes in town. If you know better pancakes in Albuquerque, tell me. If you know the best waffles in Albuquerque, tell me. I must know.
Okay, so the pizza. Are we talking about a specific place? Are you making your own recipe? Tell us about the pizza.
We go to either Dion's or this place called Ricky's or Robbie's or something on Montgomery, and we go up buy the pizza dough. Right? Straight up pizza also has nice pizza. But we get the dough, we take it home, make the pizza ourselves, make as much pizza that we want, make a deep dish if we want, like in a pie pan, and get barbecue or sausage and put it on top.
So that's what it's been. It's been a lot of food experimentation with pizza lately?
No, I've just been thinking about it. It's all theoretical. I'm like a theoretical food junkie right now because I'm starving myself basically to make weight.
Some people have a diary. Do you have this like hidden food log?
No, I just keep on posting pictures of food on my Instagram and stuff. I'm like, look at all these burgers, look at this pizza.
Feels like a little masochistic right there.
But that's the whole point, you know. If you're able to get something out of your mind and you don't realize its absence, then it's not really like feeding your fire. When you realize, yeah, I'm hungry. Why am I doing this? Oh yeah, because I want to win. Why do I want to win? Because A, B, C, D. And then you're reinforcing what you're even doing this for.
And talking about what you're preparing for right now, Rocky Mountain Rubicon 4, a main event fight for yourself.
I'm fighting? Oh, yeah. Rocky Mountain Rubicon 4. So, wow. I've done them before. I fought Adam Martinez. It was great. It was lots of fun, and they're really good people. We're not going to be in Pueblo this time. We're going to be in Fountain, which is close to Colorado Springs, but still only 5 hours from Albuquerque. Tickets are $25. I mean, this is an easy drive to see. Me, Nick Urso is going to be the co-main event. So, amazing fighter. Been in Jackson's for a long time. Exciting, violent, beautiful destruction, as Cub Swanson would say. And he's going to be worth the whole card. Then you can see me at the end. I'm like dessert. He's the main course.
Jordan Titoni, the opponent. What do you know about your foe?
He seems like a nice guy. Seems like a really strong wrestler, strong fighter. And wrestlers, you know, they hit hard, and they can take lots of punishment, and they're tough, and they have great cardio. So I'm imagining the best wrestler that I could possibly think of. And I'm going to work on beating them, whether they're George St. Pierre-ish in there. I'm going to have the mentality, I can beat him. Because one thing Greg Jackson talks about is that all fighters have to be optimists. And so I'm very optimistic about this fight. I'm not downplaying my opponent. I'm not saying I'm going to smash him in 2 seconds, and if it takes 4 seconds, I was off. No, screw that. It's a fight. I'm going to do my best, show respect, and hopefully I'm going to smash, but we'll see.
Now, in here in the gym, to round your game, where have you been focusing on? You're coming up against a wrestler, but before this camp came up, where were you filling in the holes from the last fight that you felt needed to be filled in?
I think, based on how the last fight went, there were places, ground, stand-up, wrestling, that I needed to improve. And I improved. I've grown a lot this camp. It's been a while since I fought. I fought in May, I believe, last time, or maybe late April. Either way, It's been a while. So I've been training this whole time. I don't take time off, really. I take a week off, I feel like I've been lazy. So I take a rest day, and I'm like, man, I gotta get back in that cage. I gotta get back on the mat. So it's all about working hard, improving everything. I've been working with some different coaches. I've been working with Joey Villasenor more. I've been working with Frank Lester more. So I feel like my striking's gonna be improved. I've been working with Chad Smith and Bart Lujan, you saw him, like, you just interviewed him recently. You didn't get me to say that he's amazing too, right?
You can say it now if you want to.
Yeah, he's amazing, right? He's always been super supportive of me and helping me out and teaching me his secret moves, right, his ninja skills. But yeah, so I've been working with Harry St. Ledger on Jiu-Jitsu more too. And so we're adding like all these different coaches into my life who are adding to each aspect of the MMA game for me, and it's great. It's amazing.
And like the puzzle, has it all been fitting together pretty well? I know sometimes different coaches, and they can teach kind of countering techniques, things that don't fit. But has this been a good marriage of techniques for you?
Sometimes there's conflict. Striking coaches each have their own different style, and they each hold pads differently. But what it does is it makes your brain more plastic. It adds to mental plasticity. And so you're able to adapt to situations in the fight because you've already been adapting to different striking coaches. It's like going against different striking opponents. I don't know what any opponent is like really until I've sparred with them a whole bunch. And so it takes a lot of skill and observation to figure out, oh, this is what he's doing, this is his timing, this is what he likes. And going with different coaches helps that.
Now the last time you fought was late April, and I forgot we should be celebrating right now. You got the knockout. You got the first one. You had a lot of submissions.
No, I got a TKO.
Well, TKO. Isn't that
I had an amateur TKO.
Well, pro though, this is different. This was the first pro strike stoppage. Isn't it a little bit different?
You're right. But it's not, because the ground set it up. It doesn't count then. It has to be like on the feet, drop them, then you can finish them off, and then it counts as a knockout.
So can we get a minor celebration for this one? It was another minor goal achieved to get a pro TKO?
It was. I don't want the T on it, to tell you the truth. I just want the KO. I want to be able to hit someone on the feet and walk away, or just like about to walk up on them and hit them a few times. That's what I'd like.
This is one of the long-term goals for Andrew Tenneson, who wants that knockout.
Yeah, you want interesting submissions, and you want a KO, and if you got the first KO with punches, you want the next KO with kicks. If you got that one with kicks, you want the next one with knees or elbows. Yeah, you want to finish the fight in a variety of ways, or each fight in a different way. So you just feel like when you look back on your career, you have a tapestry of experiences, not just I took people down, I choked them out. I took people down, I took them out. Or some people, even worse, I grinded them out to a decision. I grinded them out to a decision. Right? Just falling asleep. The same fight like 20 times is boring as hell. Why are we even doing this then if you're not growing? So.
And that's what you're here for, all about the growth and the journey, right?
I feel like I'm always like looking at philosophical things and trying to figure out the whole point of being. There, you read a whole bunch of things about being an artist. So what is the point of art? It can't just be like the make pretty things. It has to be the one of the quotes, I forget who said it, but it's about being a witness to the human experience. And so I think higher art is better at doing that. But I think that if you do mixed martial arts and you compete, afterwards you have to kind of add context to it. You have to be able to say, this wasn't just two guys beating each other up, it was this. And this is what I got from it, and this is what I get out of the martial arts. Because if you just enter in the evidence a cage fight, especially like a bloody one that looks kind of sloppy, then people are going to look at that and they're going to think, wow, this isn't art, I don't get the art part. So there has to be a breakdown, an expression, a communication of why what we are doing is not garbage. Because if we look at it objectively, if we're just throwing two people to fight, we're not taking care of them, they don't care about honor, they don't care about respect, they don't care about inspiring people, then it is garbage. It is. There's no other way to look at it. You can just watch a bar fight and just get the same excitement. And lots of people do. Lots of people will watch World Star Hip Hop and get excited. Then they'll watch Holly knock out Ronda, and they'll feel it's exactly the same to them. Just one was in a ring or a cage, and the other one was in the street. But there's a difference, and if there's not, then we're wasting our time.
Now, also, there was recently at the Oscars, I believe, the whole controversy of mixed martial arts is not arts. But you are the perfect person to combat that argument for me.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, I feel like I could talk to Meryl Streep and explain to her why it is an art, and she would agree because she'd look at the evidence and listen to my presentation. Other people on the other side of the aisle, you can talk to them about climate change, you can talk to them about healthcare, and they wouldn't change their mind no matter what kind of evidence you told them. You're like, NASA says this. They're like, well, I think it's a Chinese hoax. So when it comes to like her not knowing about mixed martial arts, she's just talking about what she sees being advertised, from the UFC. And so I forgive her. Ooh, she attacked my punching people in the face sport. Yeah, I know there's more to it. Everyone knows that's involved in MMA, there's more to it. But for the layman, we have to be ambassadors for our sport. And so we have to go out there and not be like, how dare you insult our sport? But say, hey, this is why our sport is beautiful. This is what it can do to my life, to a kid's life, someone who's overweight like I used to be. Hey, I lost a whole bunch of weight now. Now I'm cutting more, but that's beside the point.
And as you said, Meryl Streep got a lot of her thoughts or opinions that look like derivative from commercials. So you don't think promotionally there would be a way to promote mixed martial arts as mixed martial arts and have it be profitable as to where a lot of the masses seem to be blood hungry and those knockout highlights are what draw people?
Never back down, right? If that's your view of MMA, it's not an art. It's garbage, right? You're just like, there's this stupid high school kid and he's learning to fight. And if you think Bloodsport is MMA, right? Where you're like, wow, that guy was it Kickboxer, the one where he had the glass on his hands? I forget.
I think it was wasn't it Bloodsport? Yeah.
I forget, man, because they're both like so the same. Revenge fantasies.
Either way, we're not watching the Kumite.
Yeah.
It's not Van Damme trying to get revenge for his best friend's back being broken. This is a sanctioned legal sport that has went through many levels of different rules to get to where it is today, that we are all trying to show that it is a validated sport.
And it has a history that goes back all the way to original martial arts, of course, but also to the Gracie Valtudo. It goes to Japan, and they're trying to make pro wrestling real instead of having it all being work, so that's where pancrase and Shudo comes from. So yeah, it has a lot of history to it. But if we can't be ambassadors, I'm telling you, you could have the greatest fights, you can have the greatest book, but if you can't convince someone to read it or tell them why it's important, then yeah, it's meaningless. There has to be communication.
And then you're around it. I believe there's some people that are doing stuff to push the sport into a better light. There's one series in particular coming out, I believe, on UFC Fight Pass, and it's Fight Mother or something like that, and it's following around Michelle Watterson around here. So finally, something that's not somebody dogging, trash talking, insulting. I mean, what is the UFC doing? They're putting something positive out there. I am so excited to see it.
Yeah, I love it. And Michelle is a perfect example of it tells a story that goes beyond fighting, and I think lots of working women understand that story. Working mothers understand that story. It's like, hey, I have this career, but I want to have a child, and I do both at the same time. How do I balance that? She's dealing with the fact that she's in this really machismo atmosphere, violence, beer commercials, and how does she have to use her attractiveness versus just her skill level to make it? And that's lots of women are dealing with that. And so again, martial arts, MMA, becomes a more of a way to be a witness to humanity, which is what art is supposed to be about.
And I'm not pointing fingers. There are some people, you said there's that machismo, and there's some people we know that are dripping with it, just out there in the MMA world. And you do a great job of staying you, and I know there's a competitiveness, but I can't say that I've ever thought you were this dripping alpha male douche.
You should see me after a really hard wrestling class, and I'm stomping around cussing. I'm like, F this, F that, I ain't losing, blah blah blah, right? There's a part of it because that's, we're hunter-gatherer species that then ended up having agriculture and going and warring with other agricultural societies, you know. So there is that killer instinct in humanity. How does it express itself? Is it going to be put into something negative, like invading a country next to you, or is it going to be put into something positive, like martial arts? And so, how do we express to people? How do we express to ourselves even that there's something meaningful behind what we do? Because I'm a meaning-driven person. If I don't have meaning in what I'm doing, then it's like kind of harder to get up in the morning. It's kind of hard to like, why am I getting punched in the face? I'm sore. I don't want to go to training. You know, I'm just not going to take this fight. But man, if you believe in what you're doing and it has a reason, then you go for it.
Now, as you continue this journey now as a pro, do you feel, is there growth in that direction in some areas of this MMA that we still do have that, you know, real martial artists and that respectable feel to it? Well, there are a lot of hijinks and shenanigans going on in this sport.
It's always like this idea that money can ruin everything, and so when you have a female fighter and she's really skilled, but she wants to make more money, she's gonna have to rely on her sex appeal to make more money. When you have a fighter who's really skilled, a male fighter, and he wants to make this fight bigger, if he talks crap and pretends that there's animosity between him and someone else, he'll make more money. And so you end up having a financial incentive to go against what we normally would value, and that's kind of depressing. But then there's also positive things like Michelle Waterson's documentary. You have people like Holly who are just not talking crap and just going out there and doing what they do. You have the new fighter association that's going to be in the UFC. That's Tim Kennedy. Shout out to him. He just retired. Amazing fighter, and he's heading that with a whole bunch of other people, and that's going to really take care of the health care and give the fighters the value that they need when it comes, that they deserve financially for fighting. And that is going to help them be able to say, well, you're not going to be able to bully me into taking fights I don't want to fight. I'm not going to hurt myself just to stay in this league. It's great. And so then people are more free to be themselves. They're more free to do what they need to do, which is train, fight, win. That's it.
And that's what you're planning to do February 4th. Got teammates on the card. We've kept you for a bunch of time. You got a message for the fans why they should take that little drive 5 hours north?
Well, there is lots of good food on the way. There's more green chili in Colorado than there was 5 years ago. If you're from Colorado, you really have no excuse. You should be there. And it's going to be exciting. There's going to be... Jordan Titoni's tough. I feel like I'm tough. So, if this goes to decision, it would be a war. But chances are, it's going to be finished. And finishes are exciting. So, you're going to miss out if you don't come. CageTix.com, Rubicon 4, Rocky Mountain, February 4th.
And the people you need to thank.
Oh man, I need to thank everybody. Devin James, Isaac Valley Flag, Israel with the shop on breakfast, lunch, and dinner. We got Jackson's Martial Arts and Fitness Academy where I teach, Eubank and Candelaria. So call us. I'll teach you how to punch people and defend yourself and talk your ear off like I've just done. If you've listened to this whole thing, then you should come to the class. I talk even more. But yeah, just so many people. Everyone at the gym. Nick Gonzalez, Nick Urso, Chad Smith, Lenny Lovato, Greg Jackson, Mike John, Brandon Gibson, just every single person. Clay Matza, Brogan, Holly, Frank, everyone, the whole team. If I forgot you, yeah, I'm sorry. Oh, and Celine Haga won her fight when she choked that chick out.
And we'll be talking to her in just a moment.
Good. Don't forget that. She won.
Andrew Tenneson, thank you for the time,
Thanks.
sir.